Mrs. Patience Toma is a graduate of accountancy from the Plateau State Polytechnic, Barracan Lodi, where she got her higher national diploma in 2007. She proceeded to the Nigeria College of Accountancy, (QUAL), where she became a certified national accountant in the 2013-2014 academic session. She finished her master's degree in leadership administration at Ekwa Theological Seminary, Jos, in December 2023. She is currently a doctoral student in the same institution. For a woman who is passionate about personal growth and development, Mrs. Patience Toma has invested over 15 years of her life into building up exciting and rewarding work experience, mostly as an accountant, before her elevation to the topmost position as Executive Director of the Nigeria Bible Translation Trust, Jos Plateau State. As a woman who has a strong will to bring increase to an organization, Mrs. Patience Toma's love for reading has built in her a purpose-driven trait which stops at nothing to see that results are always her trademark. Beyond the fact that Mrs. Patience Toma is stably a mother to 5 beautiful daughters, Peace Toma, Priscilla Toma, Precious Toma, Promise Toma, and Melody Elisha, this hard worker has proven to be a result-oriented servant leader in many other areas of her personal and professional life. For such a woman, it is only a matter of trust and confidence, and you can be sure of a better Nbtt. Her drive is such that is geared towards a positive contribution to the growth and development of not just a corporate vision, but having a people-driven leadership, those that are majorly people-owned. Let's sit back and listen to some thoughts on her leadership from members of the board of Nbtt, staff of the trust, partners, and family on Mrs. Patience Toma's legacy within the 4 years of her tenure as Executive Director of Nbtt.
She has a vision. Nigerian Bible Translation Trust entered a period. So she came in and she's now putting things in place gradually.
We discovered that for the past years, Nbtt was in rancor. There were some kind of misunderstandings, and even some partners and donors were leaving Nbtt.
I can say that those relationships we tried for many years for them to be renewed, but it's been renewed under her tenure, and we are truly grateful for that.
We had cases where staff had to, withdraw their services and leaving the organization, in a most frequent manner. So, but since she came, there has been a stability.
The method she used should be commended. It was value-oriented method. She didn't go for money. She went for a relationship. And I think it has to do also with her identity. Because when she related with one company, another company will come and be shocked that it's the same way. She was not acting drama. That's actually her values. Maybe one person will go and report to the other one, say, okay, I've met this woman and he's not talking about money, he's not talking about relationship, how to work together, collaborate and make things work for Nbtt, but he's not putting money in front. I think I appreciate that.
She's a woman of peace. She's a peacemaker. And I know her first year in office, that was what her pursuit was. She pursued peace till she made peace, till Nbtt was able to make peace, till every staff was able to make peace with each other. And as her name is, she's a very patient person. Even in the journey of pursuit for peace, there are times where things were not very palatable, but she kept moving and she kept patience.
One first key thing which she did that moved me, and I damn her as my role model, was when she tried to unite the relationship between the staff. She ensured that the people that she's going to work with have the same mindset by bringing them to her terms and reconciling and removing every conflict.
The steps she took to bring reconciliation between Nbtt and seed company. When we assumed office, that was a very big challenge because Nbtt already was stuck with a bad name. But I want to thank God for this woman of God that has cleared the name of Nbtt, that today we have a better image before seed company.
So at the conclusion of Ms. Patient Toma's first tenure as executive director of Nbtt, just want to offer some words of commendation and encouragement to her for her service. Coming in at a time when things at Nbtt were not so easy. They were a little difficult. She has demonstrated faithful character, one that is steadfast and that really does persevere, seeks to make things right. And I have seen her do that. I have enjoyed times of fellowship with her as well as, and just her openness and humility to just speak about things as they truly are. She is a leader who has kept her hand to the plow when the row was pretty hard to plow. And the way Nbtt is today compared to 4 years ago is quite different.
My first engagement with Nbtt was called a organizational strength journey, and in that week we assessed all of the staff, had interviews with every staff member, and then assessed all of the NBT systems and functions in great detail, and then we came up with very strategic direction for the organization. And in that time, one of the first impressions was when we started talking to staff was this respect for her leadership and respect for how she cared for the staff. That's a very impressive leadership characteristic right off, coming right into learning about the organization. That was very clear.
Do you know that by the grace of God, through her tenure, she was able to lead the board to review the scheme of service and also the condition of service. I remember very well. She came with a kind of a passion that she's not happy the welfare of her staff. They are really finding it very difficult to feed and also to transport themselves to their place of work. In fact, before even the review of the scheme of service, I remember we have to offer palliative. We have to offer palliative for the staff.
Her love for the staff of Nbtt. Everywhere we go, she talks about that. The staff well-being. I've learned about this. I'll share this with the staff. And she's not shy to challenge where or correct, but her manner of correcting is also, you see that it's out of love. She wants the staff to improve, and she has good intentions.
For the past almost 14, 15, or even 17 years, I've been with Nbtt. I've not seen staff being developed, not only mentally and psychologically, but even physically, holistic development.
When she came in, financially we were down. Nbtt was not doing well, was not paying salaries. We were having a lot of liabilities on us because you discover that we have not remitted staff leave arrears, staff salaries were not paid, even pensions were not paid, tax were not even paid, up to the point that even tax managers were writing to us that we should come and pay. If not, we will have to be penalized for that.
There were bad luck of liabilities in the organization, running to millions.
We have the figures. When we add all the liabilities, that is the leave arrears, because we stopped paying leave allowances in 2017. Then we calculated them. We calculated all the allowances. Then we also added tax, pensions, all together is over 56 million. But now she came in, as she came in, she cleared all those liabilities.
In my own department, we have seen her having to, expedite action on or decision on businesses, trying to encourage internally generated ventures so that NBTT can run reliably on her own without depending 100% on other partners or churches. So we thank God that so many things have been put in place to sustain the operation of this organization. The printing press has been running, and then water business is being established so that it will be an alternative source of revenue for the organization.
And today, if you go to our kitchen, you will know that that kitchen is something else. It's something different. She has improved the kitchen. She has improved the quality of food. She has improved the quality of staff, that when you go there, you want to come back again.
NBTT was not having much active projects then. I remember when I assumed office, because when she came into power, she brought me here as the director of language programs. I took over with few projects that are active. I could barely count up to 10, even though those projects were not having all funding. I think about 8 or 6 that were having funding. Today we have more than 64 projects that are being funded, and we are having more than 18 projects that are actively working, in spite that there is no external funding. The churches have raised to their responsibility, they support them, and NBTT too, as a leader who she wants to see the work continuous. She has helped many projects through her own initiatives and the resources NBTT has, because she is willing to repair their equipment, and some we bought laptops for them, and some we are still planning to buy laptops for them. Now we are working towards how we could start paying them from NBTT income so that these projects will finish their work.
It was quite amazing when you look back as at 2021, Nigeria only have about 9 languages doing oral Bible translation with render, but now we can say we have over about 150 languages. Just yesterday I was listening to a documentary. They said Nigeria has been removed from the top 5 languages in need of Bible translation. I must say that the partnership with NBTT also attributed to this milestone, to this great success of the shift in the addressing the remaining Bible translation needs in Nigeria. For me, I would say this is because of our openness to work and to partner with us. We commend her for her humility. We commend her also for her listening ears.
In Wycliffe Global Alliance and even Africa area, one of the things we emphasize on is collaboration. And we've seen that spirit in Madam Patience collaborating with others openly.
If we are to just measure it by human ideology, we wouldn't want to say it is needful, because someone would say nothing good could come out of it. But she took it as a responsibility to visit those organizations and partners, to sensitize them and to see how the relationship could continue.
What touched me that when we wanted to pray, she was on her knees, cry out, say, God, how long? It's like, how long? We want to make a difference. Something must happen. And especially, we are the one that give out the scriptures. Can the word of God really take roots in us.
Before the coming of Global Partnerships to Nbtt, Madam Patience had to write a lot of letters, emails, seeking for partnership, funding partners that will come to Nbtt. And to God be the glory, when she approached Global Partnerships, they opened their arms and welcomed her. And when we started development of the proposal for the Amenchi Cluster Project, it wasn't funny, but because then we had nothing, and the Lord really helped us.
When you mother an organization, it's like you are laboring. We know what labor means. I see her somebody who is many times in labor to give birth to something that God can be proud.
Other aspects of Patience, besides just having great respect for her staff, is just her passion for the ministry, and then also hearing her talk about the communities and their work in the communities. And it's been amazing. I think she's visited every single community, is engaging well with the communities. She engages so much with external, not only the communities, but with the pastors. It is like, it's fun because we just wait till Patience gets up and speaks to us, because she has such words of wisdom and encouragement, and I think they're just God-inspired words. She's got that spirit that inspires others and motivates others, and it's like everyone sits around waiting in anticipation for when Patience is going to get up and speak, and that's a real joy.
Mrs. Toma, the ED, has been a great friend of the translators and the projects, different projects. When you come to Nbtt, she opens her arms and welcomes you with smiles, which gives you the ease to do your work without thinking or without being disturbed. She has encouraged us to work, and she has encouraged us not in only words, but in her friendship, in making sure, encouraging, making sure that we do the work and that we are not feeling lost or feeling out of place. She has made her workers to also welcome us in the same way. She has organized workshops and seminars for us, and we are enjoying, we are progressing in what she has taught us to do.
I recall when I came on board, we had 2 partners only doing OBT in Nigeria with Render, but now we have almost about 6 to 10 partners now doing oral Bible translation. But the role of Nbtt was key, and I recall we've had times of meeting with Nbtt leadership to also map our plans to see how we bring about shift or to strengthen our efforts for growth of oral Bible translation in Nigeria. I recall we had a convergence of the 2 partners we had in Nigeria here in Nbtt. I recall Madam Patient hosted us, and after that consultation, there was such a shift in the work of oral Bible translation in Nigeria. And we are so excited. We thank God for this joy of fellowship, joy of partnership, her openness to talk, and then her availability to release her staffs to be oral Bible translation trainers. And that was good. That has also helped to strengthen the work of what we're doing.
You know, there are other organizations that are also into Bible translation. She liaises with them, trying to build a relationship so that we can support one another, because it is the work of God, not the work of individual. And organizations that are working for God are not competing, but they are complementing each other.
I'm really happy for the privilege to work with Nbtt at this time. SIL has always worked together with Nbtt, the director of SIL and the executive director of Nbtt, we've always had a cordial relationship over the years. These last few years have been especially sweet partnership with Sister Marcus Toma as the executive director. She's come with an openness to work with other organizations. She's come with an openness to collaborate. And we've even met not only in Nigeria, but in Kenya and Ethiopia and other places. And always we're thinking about how can we work together and how can God's work in Nigeria go forward.
I've enjoyed the times that she and I have spent together over a meal or in meetings together, whether it's just the two of us or all of us in the Language Programs Coordination Forum. She's always very hospitable. Nbtt is very hospitable to host those gatherings quite frequently, which also speaks to a nature of leadership that I see from patients that her first response appears to be, yes, now let's figure out how to do it. That appears to be her posture. So when it comes to organizations needing a place to do workshops, I believe her posture is one of, yes, now let's figure out how to make it work in the calendar.
Yes.
When a language is interested in scripture or when a need comes up from the Language Program Coordination Forum, she appears to have the posture of, yes, now let's figure out how we can do that. And I think that's really inspiring for a leader. I think that's hopeful for Nbtt's future. And I'm really excited to continue to see who Nbtt becomes in this next season.
I found her to be very prayerful. We have sat with her in various meetings, and she will say, I think we need to pray. Yes. And that there's nothing impossible with God. And that has been an encouragement to me personally, but also an encouragement to see that she gets her source of strength from her relationship with God.
One of the things that really stood out to me about this tenure as the executive director was responding to the high level of collaboration happening in Nigeria is a willingness to let go. It might seem like a small thing, but it actually is a huge step of service. Some of our partners, SIL wasn't even involved, it was one of our partners, was wanting to engage the community wanted to engage the partner, and Nbtt didn't happen to have funding to support that partner at that given time. And when Nbtt, when the executive director found out that, oh, others are willing to serve there, she said, go ahead and serve there. That kind of attitude is really encouraging in an environment where 30 organizations working in the same country. We need to have some give and take. So I'm excited about SIL working in the same language as Nbtt, but I'm also excited at times where Sister Patience has given the go ahead to say, go ahead, work there. We're not working there right now, So yeah, that was really moving to me.
She has also given us some amount at the donation, which proves that she's interested in the work we are doing and she wants to encourage us to carry on. Even today, when I came, they were having breakfast. She asked them to give me breakfast, which otherwise it wouldn't have been so because I'm an outsider and I'm not doing any work with them now. But she opened her doors and gave me and fed me just as Jesus said. When they come to knocking at your door, you should give them the bread and don't deprive because maybe they are strangers or they are not working with you. That has given me encouragement, and I'm going to tell our people about it.
The training and the training of staff. I see her pushing every day for the staff to go on training. They are in different institutions to be able to upgrade their academic levels and also have the informal training which organize workshop and other activities.
And as we got into assessing the organization, its systems and its functions, the overall maturity rating of the organization was 89, which was a lot of good things going on, and especially around finances and just a lot of the critical functions.
I remember when she was telling me, Chukidi, how far about your studies? I said, I'm okay, I'm not furthering my education. I said, that is not possible, not in my own regime. You go to school. We are here to build capacity, and you will not stop. And by the grace of God, I'm in JETS right now. I'm in servant leadership, and she's still pushing us to do more. So with her, there's no dull moment, academic-wise, work-wise, in every ramification.
Her relationship, even with the board of directors, has been so cordial. In our board meetings, before we come, everything is put in place. And in the meeting, she will make sure she briefs the board everything that has transpired, so the boards are not left in darkness.
My last visit, I think it was June this year, when meeting with the board, we could see her in action, discussing, answering questions, and setting. You can easily see that she has set a direction for the organization, and that the board also appreciates her. It is not an everyday thing to see a director and a board working very well and working professionally, because I've interacted with many.
So at first, when she became the executive director, she made it clear that she was going to have to go on a lot of journeys. There will be times she wasn't going to be at home. But so far so good. She has been able to balance the work and the job. We have had cases where she comes back and then she decides to take us out. She has created vacations for her children. And we have seen where she has been able to spend, she has cancelled lots of meetings just to be able to spend time with her children. And we know it's not been easy on her, but she has really tried on that part.
In terms of managing her home and work, regardless of how the load is, she gets home, she attends to her family, and in the dead night, she's still working. I've had the opportunity of calling her 1 o'clock in the night because I had an issue that I needed to resolve. And I tell you, it did not ring twice. And I asked her, are you still awake? I said, why would I sleep when there's a lot to be done? That is very, very, very impressive. And I would love to be that kind of leader.
Ever since I've known my mom, she's always saying, I dreamt I was writing these exams, I dreamt I was in school. And you hear other people saying they have dreams of where they had enough money, they had cars, they had houses, and her heart is always exams. And when I'm also a student too, and I work, and you hear people saying, you are in this school. I said, my mother has not stopped schooling, so I cannot stop schooling. So that part alone has really helped to encourage me and my siblings to always want to do better. And we have seen where education has taken her far in life, and she's still studying, and we have no reason to not to want to study.
Mrs. Patience Toma has not only broken barriers, but has also set a new standard of excellence. Her leadership has ignited a new era of hope and progress for the Nigeria Bible Translation Trust. As we look to the future, we are filled with anticipation for the countless lives that will be touched by the Word of God, thanks to her visionary leadership.